Hello everyone, welcome to BodyBags. I'll be your reviewer for today. I'm Lonnie from Tats. I do want to take a moment to apologize for getting this video up late today. It's just, yeah, I got, you know how it is when it comes around time for Christmas, and got stuck at work and, didn't get out till late. Had to make sure everything got done because now I got a 3-day weekend, so I get to celebrate Christmas, but you know how it goes. So anyway, and before I get started, just want to take a moment to say a very sincere and heartfelt happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and to all of you. And thank you all for being subscribers to us. Thank you all for watching our videos. I think I can speak for all of us when I say, we all appreciate you so very, very much. And, we wouldn't be where we are without you guys. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I hope you all have a wonderful holiday and hopefully everything's going to go good for everybody in the new year. So, anyway, so yeah, let's go ahead and we'll get started. Okay, the movie that yeah, this one was a little bit tricky because this one here is from 2018, and it goes by two different titles. The I have the DVD here is called Hoarders, but the original title of the movie is The Hoard. And so yeah, so trying to look this up, it's like look you try looking up under the title Hoarders, all you're gonna find is just the show Hoarders, But if you look it up under the original title, which the Hoard that from 2018, that's where you'll find it. But this is a horror comedy, and this movie I honestly have a lot of fun with. The only thing is though, is like we're getting ready to do an Echo Bridge week here where we review movies released by Echo Bridge. It's like I could have waited and done it, but I got a good one for that week, so I'll go ahead and do this one now. This one here, this is a fun movie, and I do actually recommend it if you can find it. I think it's available. You probably look on maybe like Vudu or Amazon Prime. I think you can stream it for free, but if you can find the DVD for a good price, I actually do recommend picking it up. This is a lot of fun. Um, the whole premise of the movie is that this is the movie really is what it is. It's a spoof on it's a horror comedy spoof on reality shows. And this one here, it's a spoof on hoarding shows, shows like Hoarders and things like this. But it's also a spoof on paranormal shows like Ghost Adventures or stuff like that. And the idea, it's funny because this movie takes the idea of paranormal shows and hoarding shows and combines it into one. And so what it is you got this team of investigators who this guy here, I just want to say real quick, this guy here, like if you look at his character, like he's pretty over the top, and his sorry, his character kind of comes off like when you're watching this, you think like this dude could so easily be played by Rainn Wilson. It looks like one of those characters you would see Rainn Wilson doing, one of his over the top comedy roles and stuff like that. He just does. I just think he gives off this very Rainn Wilson vibe. But anyway, so the idea is this team. What they do is they investigate houses that are haunted, but are also filled with clutter and hoarders and things like this and everything else. So it makes for a pretty interesting premise. And then they come across this guy Murph Evans, who is he on the cover here? No, he's not. Okay. Anyway, so like right there, if you can see. So they come across this guy, Murph Evans, and it turns out that this man owns 3 houses in this small town. And they're talking about like this town is. I find it kind of funny because it seems like a contradiction because they're talking about this small town where poverty is high and everything, and like there's a problem with like you know like uh, drugs and things like this, and people kind of living hopeless lives and stuff like that, and people who can't, they can't get work and all that kind of stuff. And yet this guy is able to own this guy Murph Evans is able to own 3 properties, and he's able to fill these properties up with so much clutter and so much stuff that he's able to buy. Is like, how do you do that when, how do you buy and own 3 properties and fill them up with object when you're living in a small town where you can't find a job? That doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. I mean, at least to me it doesn't. But anyway, like I say, I get it. It's a horror comedy and stuff. But so anyway, so he's this guy Murph Evans. He's the focus of their new show, and so they're going in, and the idea is like on the one hand they want to clean his house, clean up his properties, get all rid of all the clutter and stuff like that. And so you're dealing with the whole thing of like what you would see in like an episode of Hoarders where, they're trying to clean the house and houses, that are condemned and everything um, and trying to clean the stuff up, fix everything, try to make everything like try to make the property livable and stuff like this. And they have to do it in so much amount of time and everything else. So, on the one hand, you got that going on, and then at the same time, you also have these paranormal investigators like trying to check the house to see if there's ghosts and stuff like that in there. So you got that kind of going on. And I will say, I mean, obviously you could see from this here, it's like, yeah, there's, they do uncover some stuff. I don't want to really give away too much, but, they do uncover, there is some, good horrific stuff. And I will say though, it's like, if you're going into this for the horror aspect and the gore and everything, it does come, but unfortunately, you don't really get into the movie is much more comedy for the most part, and you don't really get to the horror aspect until almost like the last half hour of the movie because, it's all setting up this whole thing because it turns out that, as they, they're looking into these homes that Murph owns and everything else. And it's like, as the more that they uncover, the more horrifying and sinister things get. So it's like, it's a buildup. A slow burn is basically what I'm trying to say. But, the movie is, the characters are pretty fun and interesting. Um, is, yeah, you got the main character, Sheila. She's a lot of fun. This guy here, he's, basically, his character is kind of hard to basically his character is more of like a psychiatrist and stuff like he's trying to trying to make like what makes a guy like Murph Evans tick, like what is like in the Hoarder's brain and all this other kind of stuff, and like he comes off as so ridiculous and over the top. And I will say that I will say that I think is probably about the only thing that kind of really takes me out of this movie is just that, I mean, I get it as comedy, I get it's it's a satirical take on like these reality shows like Hoarders and things like that. I get that, but at the same time, it's just like it kind of takes me out in the sense that okay, like these shows like they're trying to be put together. When you watch a show like Hoarders or Ghost Adventures or something like that, it's like they try to make it, they're trying to put it together in such a way to try to make it seem like it's believable, and they're trying to make it as realistic sounding as possible, even though it's not particularly realistic. Um, but I think it does kind of take me out of it a little bit when like when they're doing their interviews and stuff like this, they go a little too far with it. It gets a little too over the top and everything. And that's about my biggest problem with this is just, you're sitting there watching, it's like, okay, come on. It's like, I'm not even the biggest, reality show fan. I don't really watch a lot. I mean, there are a couple of things I like. But, even I'm sitting there like, come on, dude, I've seen enough episodes of these kind of shows to know, like, they would not let the actors, the people on these shows, they would not let them act this way. They would not let them, they would try to make them refrain from cursing on camera and stuff like this. They would, like, it just wouldn't be believable in my opinion. But I mean, I do get it though. It's over the top. I guess it's meant to be over the top. I just think they could have reined that in just a little bit more, and try to sell, because that's what's funny about some of these reality shows is kind of like, they try to play it so serious that it comes off as funny sometimes. It's like some of these shows do. They end up being unintentionally funny, and I think that's kind of more of an approach they should have took with it than just trying to be all out funny and zany and goofy with it. But I will say though, like once you get to the horror aspects of into the later part of the film, it does pay off. And I think this movie, I do actually recommend it. Now I know a lot of people. I know there are a lot of people, they can't stand the idea of horror mixed with comedy. They don't like that. They kind of like, it's like, I want my comedy over here and I want my horror over here. But to me, it's like, I enjoy a good horror comedy. When it's done well, I do enjoy a good one. So I don't mind, it's just, that's the thing. I've always, I love horror, but at the same time, I've always loved comedy. I've always had, like, I love to laugh and stuff like that. So, and yeah, when I can combine the two, to me, it's like chocolate and peanut butter. They just go together, when it's done well. And this movie, I did have fun with it. I had fun with the performances, even though I do feel some of it is over the top. And I do feel kind of like, when you get to the third act, it does pay off and it is fun to watch. And honestly, it's like, this is a pretty good 90 minutes. If you don't mind humor and horror, then yeah, this is a fun watch. But if you are the kind of person like you take your horror movies very seriously and you want it to be serious and dramatic and everything, and no humor whatsoever, then yeah, this movie is definitely not going to be for you. But yeah, I think that this is fun. It has rewatchability value. I could see, like if I come home, it's like, I want something kind of scary but fun at the same, just something, to put on for just, a good time, some kind of easy, some easy viewing and stuff like that. I would definitely give this movie, a good recommendation. So the only thing is like, oh man, I just hope that, uh, I think one of these days though, this really needs a good, Blu-ray review or Blu-ray release. But overall, I think you guys could tell. I'm sorry, I'm tired. I've been, been at work and stuff like that. But um, honestly, though, yeah, I really do recommend this movie. I think it's a lot of fun, and I think it's a good watch. So Hoarders, or the Hoard from 2018, give it a shot. So I think you have fun, especially if you enjoy a good horror comedy, and if you're the kind of person like and that's the thing I think is kind of fun too. If you're the kind of person you think that reality shows are kind of ridiculous and stuff like that, it's like this too. If you, that's one thing I can never understand is when I've heard people say like like when somebody talks about, okay, for example, like a movie like Vampires Suck, and they're like, dude, you got a movie like Vampires Suck, and the whole point of that movie is to make fun of the Twilight films and stuff like that. Here's the problem: I don't like the Twilight films. Why would I want to watch a movie that makes fun of something I don't like? And it's like, huh? To me, that always seemed like, wouldn't that be the ideal version or the ideal reason to watch something like that? Is because, it is, to me, it's like, yeah, it's like that would be the ideal reason to watch Vampires Suck, is because if you don't like Twilight, it makes fun of Twilight. I don't, oh boy, just some people baffle you. But anyway, so I've gone on more than long enough. Obviously, I'm starting to ramble, and we don't want that. So there you go. So yes, Hoarders, or the Hoard from 2018, I definitely recommend. Pick it up, and if you like a good horror comedy that's post reality shows, there you go. So that's it. So if anybody took the time to watch this, I thank you for doing it. I appreciate you for doing it. I also hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, could you please leave it a like? And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the BodyBags channel. We have a different reviewer, one for every day of the week. I am the Saturday reviewer, and I'm just so happy to be working with this group of guys, and hopefully everything will be going good as we head into the new year. I mean, I know we still got some other stuff coming, and yeah, I got next week, right before the new year. But and again, like I said, I just want to take this second and, everybody, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever you celebrate, or if you don't celebrate at all, just I hope nothing but best wishes and just a wonderful weekend for everybody. So take care, everybody. Have a good night. I'll see you later. Bye.